Roguelike is a mod that completely reworks Terraria, adding new bosses, mechanics, and epic items. I don't usually play modded Terraria, but I can say that Roguelike is hands down my favorite Terraria mod. Like in any roguelike, you start out by picking your beginning equipment. Roguelike lets you choose between 3 range weapons and 3 melee weapons. Out of the range weapons, you can pick the adaptive gun, a pistol with a high fire rate, the adaptive cannon, basically a slow shooting grenade launcher, and the adaptive rifle, a sniper rifle. Out of the melee weapons, you can choose between the adaptive blade, the adaptive spear, and the adaptive dagger. There are 3 difficulties you can choose between: New Moon, that offers reduced damage and health regen, Full Moon, the intended experience, and Blood Moon, that offers decreased immune time and bosses attack more often. I think you can guess which one I'm choosing. That's ominous. Medieval. Spawning onto the first floor. On this floor, there are 6 different enemies: crawling sludge, undead enforcers, stone drones, undead guards, undead prisoners, and ballistas. Dropping into the first room, I encountered my first enemies. Killing the enemies in the room, I was awarded an item. There are 3 rarities of items: blue, green, and red. Each item affects different attributes. Clearing the second room, I gained the reactive microbots. That provides a plus 12 damage reduction while below 50% HP. Speaking of HP, you are provided with natural health regeneration, a barrier that increases upon killing enemies, and a double jump. Clearing the next rooms, I obtained my first green item. 10% chance upon hitting an enemy to fire a lock-on missile at them. Lock-on missiles home in on the enemies and strike them for 300% total damage. This item is fantastic and helped carry me to the end of the floor, where I encountered my first boss, the Paladin. With 20,000 hit points, the Paladin would charge and slam into the wall, causing boulders to fall. Throwing his hammer into the air, the Paladin would perform a ground slam, sending an attack rippling through the floor. Summoning his own minions, the Paladin threw his hammer, and I just barely dodged the attacks. Upon his death, he exploded into blood and dropped the Evil Eye, which increases critical strike chance by 5%. Teleporting to the next room, my health was increased and items were available to trade. But in my stupidity, I spent a stubborn amount of time trying to acquire the red item. The red circle tells me no, but I say yes. So I traded both of my green items for the 2 spent shells, which grant me plus 1 attack per weapon use. Corruption. Inside the corruption, there are 7 enemies: corruptors, cursed slimes, possessed hammer, cleaner, shadowcaster, and giant spiders. In the first room, I could already tell the difficulty from the first floor increased. I absolutely loathe cleaners, with the main struggle being the cleaners and the walking LED. Items to note that I obtained were the Instigator's Gauntlet. Enemies take 75 bonus damage when above 90% life. Ooh. Attack plan: upon entering a room, deploy 8 homing rockets from the center of the room. Homing rockets deal 70 base damage. And a Living Crystal. Living Crystal, plus 1 HP a second. My favorite being the attack plan, because watching missiles bombarding enemies is way too satisfying. Entering the boss room, allow me to introduce the Corrupt Parasite. This oversized tapeworm was a massive pain in my ass. It's like the Eater of Worlds, however, he doesn't split into pieces and likes to projectile vomit all over your face. He also likes to shoot cursed flames and summon cleaners. Yeah! Corruptor Parasite down! Woo! I was awarded the Ceremonial Crown, which grants 10% bonus damage for every vulnerable enemy in a room. What is a vulnerable enemy? No, like, I'm asking you. I have no bloody idea. Next floor! Ice. Inside this floor, there are 6 enemies: Ice Tortoise, Ice Merman, Undead Vikings, Ice Spirits, and Giant Bats. Okay, can you, like, sit still? Quit fucking moving! Entering the boss room, the Ice Queen spawned, and I have to say, this boss fight is awesome. From shooting ice sights to raining snowflakes, this boss is straight out of a bullet hell. Killing the Ice Queen, it quickly took first place among the bosses. Underworld. In the Underworld, there are 5 enemies: Lava Slime, Fire Imps, Demon, Elite Demon, and Bone Serpents. Any worm-like creature in this game, I absolutely despise. But with the attack plan, I was clearing every floor with ease. Entering the boss room, the wall of flesh spawned, and it was even more fleshier, shooting balls of what I can only assume is pus, exploding into missiles of blood. Oh, and now he shoots laser beams. This fight was really tough in the beginning, but once I learned the Wall of Flesh's moveset, it didn't take long before he was killed. Yeah! Wall of Flesh down, baby. I was awarded a red item. This item sucks. Trading one of my green items, I obtained the disposable turret. This item is pretty cool, but I'll talk about it in a second. Temple. Fuck. I hate lizards. The temple has 7 enemies. Lizards. Flying lizards. Domesticated lizards. Black lizards. Temple lizards. Lizards. Sentry. Wizard lizards. There is a 25% chance to drop a turret when an enemy is killed. These turrets are pretty good and helped me clear this floor, which is arguably the hardest floor yet, mainly due to the boulders bouncing off my forehead. Oh my god! Entering the boss room, I faced Gollum himself. His attacks were extremely easy to dodge, and when he summoned his minions, I killed them and spawned turrets in their place, and dealt loads of damage. And Gollum is dead. Yoink. Moonlord's domain. After walking right for an eternity, I entered Moonlord's domain. Each of the pillars was chained to Moonlord and created a protective barrier. Destroying the 4 pillars, Moonlord broke free from his prison. Moonlord dealt a lot of damage. By all rights, I should not have survived this fight, but seemingly every time I ran directly into a laser beam, I somehow managed to escape with 1 hit point. I focused on killing his hands and then his chest, while I escaped his barf tentacles. Killing Moonlord, I was disappointed to see that he was not the final boss. Also, a timer started. Timers are never good. As the countdown lowered, I ran back the way I came and entered the final boss fight, the true brain of Cthulhu. To put it politely, I got absolutely clapped. Oh, he only had 15,000 left, dude. Oh! On my second attempt, I switched to full moon and chose the adaptive rifle, wooden. Wooden has 6 enemies: Seed Lobber, Splinter, Tumbletwig, Spookrow, Wrathful Root, and Rock Golem. Get it? Because they're all tree related? Wait a minute. What the fuck? I thought the design of this room was really cool, but what I wasn't cool with was Rock Golems using my head as a launch pad. Entering the boss room, I faced the Bramble Hollow. This boss was so easy, but I love the nature wooden vibe of this floor, so it gets an A+. Super undeservingly, I was awarded a red item, the Shotgun Assembly Kit. So my sniper rifle was now a shotgun sniper rifle that dealt 4 times the damage. You know, all of a sudden I'm really liking the sniper rifle. I traded a green item for the automatic Defurfurfur. Every 20 seconds in an active room, summon a pulse that heals for 30% max life. So I traded another one. Crimson. The Crimson has 6 enemies: the Crimson Durg, Crimator, Ichor Slime, Ichor Sticker, Bloodcrawler, and Bloodthirsty Axe. With the healing pulse, I recovered any lost health and reached the boss room. To kill the Crimson Vessel, I shot the eyeballs surrounding it to prevent it from healing. Done. Crimson Vessel. Ice. My goodness, this boss is literally so freaking awesome. After I killed the Ice Queen, I obtained the best item in the mod, the Hemokinetic Grasp. Place your cursor on enemies to steal life from them. The amount of life you steal is equal to 2% of your max life and is affected by bonus damage. And increased my movement speed. Underworld. With the Hemokinetic Grasp, as long as I kept my cursor on an enemy, I can infinitely heal and drain their hit points. Basically, with this item, you are immortal. Yeah! Dude, this lifesteal, unreal. Temple. In the temple, I obtained the Hot Pepper. So on top of lifesteal, I was inflicting crazy damage by setting enemies on fire. Behold my power! I also received the Barbed Lasso, which granted me even more lifesteal within 8 tiles of an enemy. With my overwhelming power, Golem's health dropped like flies. Even against Moonlord, all I had to do was keep my cursor pinned on his chest, and I was unkillable. Chasing after the true brain of Cthulhu, it was time for revenge. This time, the fight went much different. Instead of getting absolutely destroyed by his attacks, It didn't matter if he lasered me, or lasered me, or if he lasered me, or you know, if he lasered me, because with lifesteal, you are basically cheating. After an epic fight, I killed the true brain of Cthulhu, and victory was mine. For my third attempt, I picked the adaptive cannon and created my character. Oh yeah, we're looking fantastic. The cannon dealt a crazy amount of damage, but its attack speed was so slow, and I don't like the cannon. Attempt 4. This run, I picked the adaptive gun, wooden. With the gun, I easily reached the boss room and was on to the next floor. Crimson. Fighting the Crimson Vessel was very difficult with the gun because I wasn't able to kill its minions in time to stop it from healing. But it wasn't long before I killed the Crimson Vessel and entered the next floor. Desert. Desert. I'm hungry. The desert has 6 enemies. Antlion, Antlion Charger, Antlion Swarmer, Sandworm, Lamia, and Desert Spirit. By far the worst enemy was the Sandworms. When one spawned in a room, I would panic and start speaking absolute nonsense. I am within your line of sight. I'm terrified and I don't know what to do. Run, 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 run. I obtained a pair of sneakers and my movement speed increased. Before I knew it, I was inside the boss room, and the Pharaoh Spirit spawned. Most of the attacks were extremely easy to avoid, but when the Pharaoh Spirit summoned the sandstorms and confined me to a part of the arena, attacks became much harder to avoid, especially the purple tentacles and balls of fire. With the barbed lasso, I just stood next to the Pharaoh and tanked attacks until it was killed. I was awarded a red item, and immediately traded it for the volatile rocket. Original attacks explode for 60% total damage. That's fantastic. Needless to say, this item was ridiculously good, and just you wait, it gets even more broken. I gained the bunny hopper. I obtained another red item, the jet lag. Gain a quick invincibility dash that has a cooldown. I have been waiting to obtain an item that allows me to dash this entire video, and now that I have it, it's trash. It would be the best item in the game if it didn't have a 10-second cooldown. Anyways, I obliterated the wall of flesh. Dungeon. The dungeon has 6 enemies: Dungeon Spirit, Undead Assassin, Spectre Master, Undead Brute, Diabolist, and the Undead Sharpshooter. That gave me a constant sense of danger and kept me constantly moving. Entering the boss room, Skeletron made his appearance. I don't know which one I like more, the Ice Queen or Skeletron, but this fight was awesome. Because the arena was smaller, it forced me to focus on dodging attacks. Speaking of attacks, Skeletron has a completely new moveset, and holy crap are they awesome. Shooting blue flames throughout the arena, if I stopped moving, I would die. By using the chain in the center, I could circle the arena and avoid his attacks. Woo! Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. Yeah! Having killed Skeletron, I traded my dodge for the shotgun assembly kit. So now I have a grenade launcher that shoots 4 explosives at the speed of a pistol. Do you see that damage? That is freaking crazy. It took me less than a minute to kill the pillars, and I straight up assaulted Moonlord. With the timer activated, I don't think I've ever had more fun playing a game than at this moment. Do you see this? It's like a fucking Gatling gun, dude. I decimated everything in my path until I reached the true brain of Cthulhu. Let the fight begin. Even though I dealt massive damage, there were many close calls. But in the end, I killed the true brain of Cthulhu. This was the best run yet. This mod was awesome, from the level designs, bosses, and weapons. It was super fun. If you have enjoyed it, watch another one, because that's how YouTube knows my videos are good. So check out this one here. Stay stylish.